Hi, it's Teri with an all levels flow foundations practice where you'll be doing a lot of twisting, a little bit of upper body movement, get you feeling a little bit more flexible, a little bit more pliable. Flow foundations classes are geared towards anybody. If you're fairly new to the practice of yoga, it'll help you understand a little bit somewhat of the building from the ground up of your poses. If you're a more experienced practitioner, it will provide you with more opportunity to refine your alignment, feel a little bit more sensation in your poses. So let's start in a kneeling position, sitting back on your heels, or supported Virasana by placing a block or a book, highly recommended, the width away distance, lowest setting, and sit your hips back down. You can always bring your inner ankles towards the outer edges of the block. Make sure all 10 toenails are on the floor. Also beneficial would be even a rolled up blanket or rolled up towel right at your knee crease. Bring your hands to your knees, close your eyes, sit up nice and tall. And feel the support of the heels or the block for your sitting bones. Feel a sense of grounding into your shin bones. Next breath in, shoulders pull forward and up. Deep breath in. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Again, shoulders pulling forward and up. Belly engaged. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. And one more cycle of breath in, shoulders forward and up. Open mouth, breath out. Lightly sealing your lips together, creating a soft rumble at the base of your throat. Your next inhalation, bring your arms by your ears, reach up. Relax your shoulders. Really reach the ribs up away from the back waist. Relax your shoulders even more as you reach brightly up towards the ceiling. Exhale, tense your left fingertips to the floor. Press into the left fingers as you press over towards the left. Roll your right shoulder back. Look underneath your right shoulder. You can even walk your left fingertips out a little bit more to the left. Settle your right hip back to the block or the heel. Open up your right chest. Inhale back to center, bringing the arms overhead. As you exhale, twist towards the left. Initiate the twist with the center of your chest. Your right hand can drop to your left knee. Left hand can come back behind you, parallel to the floor. Take an inhale to lengthen. Broaden into your collarbones. Find a bit more of a twist when you breathe out. Another 2 rounds of breath in. Feel the extension of the torso. The exhalation, a little bit more of that rotation as you twist. One more round of breath in. A little bit more breath out and twist. Right hand can stay on your right knee. Bring your left arm by your ear. Come back to center. Drape your left forearm, elbow on top of your right. Bring your forearms and palms together. If this is difficult for you, you can always just give yourself a little bit of a self-hug. Relax your shoulders. Reach the elbows up. Pull the chest up towards the collarbones. Broaden into the front of the spine. Take a breath in. A little bit of a back bend. Lean back into the shoulder blades. As you exhale, round the shoulder blade wingtips away from the center of the spine. Let your head bow down into the crook of your elbows for a forward fold. Inhale, come back up. Eagle Wrap Gardasana. Find the back bend. Shoulder blade tips press into the front of the chest. Exhale, hug the belly in as you round. Feel the outer back ribs roll forward. One more round. Inhale. It's like a variation of cat and cow. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, back to center. Unwind your arms. Bring your arms by your ears. Reach high. Take a breath in, feel a little bit more of that extension. Right hand tense to the floor, lift and lengthen through the left side waist, stretch over towards your right. Continue to creepy crawl your right fingertips out to the right a little bit more. Press into the finger pads. Roll the left chest up towards your left arm. Lean the left shoulder softly back. Breath in. Find some more stretch, more space between your ribs. Breath out. Your next inhalation, come back up to center. Arms reach overhead. As you exhale, twist towards your right. Continue to spin the ribs around the spine, leading with the center of your chest. Left hand can land on your right knee. Right arm floats back behind you. Breath in to lengthen. Breath out to twist. 2 more cycles of breath in to lengthen. Continue to twist as you breathe out. Don't yank yourself. Just gently encourage. Inhale to lengthen. It's the beginning of class. Exhale, a little bit more twist. Leave your left hand on your right knee. Bring your right arm by your ear. Cross your right elbow on top of your left. Eagle Wrap Gardasana. Immediately soften your shoulders. Bring your elbows up. Push the forearms towards the front of the room, away from you. Pull the sternum up towards the collarbones. Feel a little bit more of an extension of the front of the spine. Breath in, reach up and almost lean back a little bit. As you exhale, counter that, round into the upper back as you drop your fingertips to the floor in front of you. Inhale, come right back up, sitting nice and solidly on the heels of the block. Exhale, round the spine. Again, inhale, pull it up and lean back into the back bend. Exhale, round the spine, fingertips to the floor. Inhale, unwind everything. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, come into tabletop position, hands and knees. Make sure your fingers are spread well. Knees are directly underneath your hips. Shin bones parallel to one another. Take a breath in, hug the belly in, push the floor away with the hands. Feel a long line from the crown of your head to your tailbone. Step your right foot to the back of the mat. Plug the ball of the foot into the floor. Readjust your hips so your hips are nice and level. Draw your left arm by your ear, reach forward. Raise your right leg up. You can always just settle your left hand back down if your balance is wonky today. Reorchestrate your hips again. Roll hips right down. Lift up out of the left shin, out of the left hip. Reach and lengthen your left arm forward. Make sure it's floating up by your ear. Reach your right leg long back behind you into tiger pose or bird dog. Breathing here for another 3. Neck is long for 2. Just gaze at the floor about a foot in front of you. 1. Settle your left hand back down underneath your left shoulder. Step your right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Anchor into the ball of the foot again. Feel the energetic action of your right leg. Step your left foot back to meet it for a high plank position. You can always lower your knees into a variation of plank, into a mini plank. Make sure shoulders are directly over your wrists. Pull the heels back. Shift your weight forward a little bit. Shift your way back. Remember, the belly's anchored in. Inhale, shift forward. Nice long line, long neck. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale, slightly forward. As you exhale, you can always lower your knees, lower all the way down onto the chest and belly. Pull the chest forward. Maintain that long line, that plank, all the way down. Slide your hands a little bit further back, baby cobra, bhujangasana. Glide the chest forward and up. Shoulder heads are pulling back towards the back of the room. Shoulder blades are drawing towards one another. Breath in, pull the belly in. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, slide the chest forward. Hands are merely there to pull the chest forward. Bhujangasana, baby cobra. Exhale, roll it down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release it down. Press into your palms. Separate your knees. Send your hips towards child's pose, balasana. Crawl your hands over towards the left. You can slide onto your left forearm. Tense your right fingertips. Look underneath your right shoulder, but continue to pull your right hip back. Stay here for another breath in. Settle into the open space as you breathe out. Crawl your hands back to center. Return to your tabletop position, hands and knees. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Start to wake up your left hamstrings by firmly pressing the heel to the back of the room. Front body supporting the back body. Neck is long. Draw your right arm by your ear. Thumb faces the ceiling. Draw your left leg up. Lead to the inner thigh. Hips are nice and level. Point your left toes. Keep reaching and lengthening with the left leg. Keep reaching and lengthening with the right arm. Press into your left hand. Get a little bit more height of your left shoulder away from your wrist. Breathing here for another 3. Breath in and out for 2. 1. Settle your right hand back down. Keep your left leg long. Step your left foot to the back of the mat. Anchor into the ball of the foot. Plant it firmly. Step your right foot back to meet your left into a high plank position. Take a breath in. As you exhale, spin your heels over towards the left. Firm weight on both hands. Inhale back to center. Exhale, spin your heels to the right. Inhale back to center. Shift your way forward just a little bit. As you exhale, elbows slide against the side body. Feel free to lower your knees all the way down to the chest and belly. Bring your arms long behind you, palms face down. Roll the heads of the shoulders up and back. Lift the chest up. Press the pelvis into the floor. Hug the belly in. Raise your legs up. Lead with the inner thighs. Breath in, lift up a bit more. Breath out, release it down. Inhale, lift up. Lead to the chest. Pull your legs back. Lead to the inner thighs. Exhale, release it down. One more time into Shalabhasana, locust. Lift everything up. Bring everything down. Bring your hands by your shoulders. Press into your palms. Send your hips back, separating your knees slightly. Balasana, child's pose. Walk your hands over towards your right. Slide onto your right forearm. Peek underneath your left shoulder. Continue to pull the left hip back. Find some more space between your left ribs. Another inhale. As you exhale, walk your hands back. Plant your palms, spread your fingers well. Separate your feet, tuck your toes, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bend your right knee, straighten your left leg. Pull your right heel down to the floor, hug the belly in, drop your head down. Straighten your left leg, bend into your right knee. Keep pushing down into the hands to pull the hips up and back. Again, inhale, straighten your left leg, bend into your right leg straight, bend into your left knee. Inhale, bend into your right knee, straighten your left leg. Come all the way back up, high in the balls of both feet. Push the floor away with the hands. Send your chest close to your thighs and settle your hips, heels lower to the floor. Spin your inner arms toward your ears. Feel a little bit more of a support in the shoulder girdle as you press into your knuckles. That includes the webbing of your thumb and your index finger, nice and solid on the mat. Feel a little bit more of a sense of freedom behind your neck, the tops of your shoulders. Encourage your thigh bones back as you send your sitting bones high. On your next inhalation, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees. Step or float lightly to the top of the mat. Keep the bend in your knees as you slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Feel a firm weight on both feet. Rolling up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. As you exhale, swan dive it right back down for a forward fold. Slowly rise all the way up. Slight bend in your knees to protect your lower back. Firm weight on both feet. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold. Slowly rolling up, one vertebra at a time. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest in the Sthiti equal standing. Separate your feet about hips width distance apart, a little bit wider out. Arms reach overhead. Exhale, bend your knees deeply, hands to the center of your chest for goddess pose. As you breathe out, straighten your legs, parallel your feet, forward fold. Inhale, slowly rolling up. Bring your arms by your ears, reaching high. Toes out, heels in. Exhale, goddess pose. Make sure you're sliding your back as if it's sliding around down the back of the wall. Inhale, straighten your legs, fold forward. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. One more round. Exhale, toes out, heels in. Bend your elbows, palms to the center of your chest. Exhale, straighten your legs, parallel your feet, slowly rolling up one vertebra at a time. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hands to your center of your chest, actually to your hips, and step or float your feet back to center. Arms reach overhead, reach high. Exhale, come onto the balls of your feet. Legs are starting to find a little stronger engagement. Twist over towards your left, but leave your right hip bone back so the hips are square to the front of the room. Stay here with your heels lifted as high as you can for as long as you can. Begin to hinge forward, leading with the right chest, leading with the right forearm. Eventually, your heels will lower down, then into your right knee. Take a breath in, stay in your twist. Draw the crown of the head to the front of the room. Initiate the twist to the center of your chest as you twist to your left. So the lower body's staying nice and static, just the way it is. Another inhale. As you exhale, slowly unwind. Inhale to lengthen, chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Breath out, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, long spine, bring your arms by your ears, reach high, come high in the balls of your feet. Relax and soften into your shoulders. Twist to your right. Remember, your hips are still square to the top of the mat. Broaden into your collarbones. Keep the heels high as long as you can. Maintain your twist as you hinge forward. Lead with the left arm. Lead with the left chest. Ultimately, as your fingertips land to the floor, both heels lower down, then into your left knee. Lengthen, draw the left chest towards the front of the room. Spin the ribs around the spine. Look over your right shoulder. Another inhale. Exhale, slowly unwind yourselves. Breath in, lengthen, chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Breath out, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest in the Sthiti equal standing. Sun Salute A. Inhale, big sweep up. Exhale, swan dive it down, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen, chest forward. Hands can slide to your knees or your shins. Exhale, hands plant to the floor. Step back to a high plank. Staying here or lowering your knees, lower down halfway or all the way to the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows spin against the side body. Inhale for a baby cobra or an upward facing dog, lifting everything off the mat except for the tops of your feet and your hands. Another breath in, open up the chest, your legs ignite as you lift the knees up. Exhale, roll over your toes, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 5 cycles of breath. Keep pushing the floor away with the hands. Let your head and neck drop heavily. Use your legs to send your hips up and high a little bit more so you can settle your heels to the floor. Another 3. Breath in and out for 2. One more cycle of breath in. Let it go. On your next inhalation, come high on the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Take a breath in to lengthen. Pull your chest forward. Rock your way forward for your half forward fold. As you exhale, bow down. You can even soften into your knees for Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your arms by your ears. Reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, pull the hands to the center of your chest. Samastitihi, equal standing. Breath in, big sweep up. Bring your arms by your ears. As you exhale, hinge down for a forward fold. Breath in to lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat for a low runner's lunge. Keep your left knee nice and long. You might need to scoot your left foot forward a bit so that the knee is lined over your ankle. Hands can be on blocks to bring the floor a little bit up closer towards you, or just tense your fingertips on the floor. Press into your left foot to pull the left hip back. Hips are nice and level. Right leg is long and firm like a plank position. Stay here for another 2 breaths. Continue to scissor the inner thighs, pulling your left hip back, right hip forward. Cinch the inner thighs, upper inner thighs as close together as you can into midline. Take another deep breath in. Hug the belly in. Exhale. Hands slide down the long side of your mat, bending into your right knee for Skandasana, a side lunge. Your left toes can dial towards your shin, particularly the pinky toe side of your foot. It's like pressing your left big toe mound to the left. You can either stay here, just enjoying the sensation underneath your left hamstrings, or you can walk your right hand in front of your right shin. Left arm reaches diagonally up into an open twist. Lengthen when you breathe in. Roll the ribs around the spine. As you breathe out, look over your left shoulder. Take another breath. Return back to center. Crawl your way all the way back to the front of the mat, bending into your left knee. Right hand is underneath your right shoulder. Left thumb hooks right to your left hip crease to pull your left hip back. Bring your left hand to your lower back to make sure it's nice and level. Keep that as you press into your right hand, draw the chest over your left thigh, spin towards the left. Bring your left arm overhead. Stack shoulder blade on top of shoulder blade. Remember, you're still cinching the outer hips together. Press into your right hand, get a little bit more height from your palm to your fingertips, find a little bit more of a twist. Another breath. Come back to center. Hands firmly to the floor, step back to a downward facing dog. Vinyasas are always optional. You can just skip them if you'd like. Otherwise, join me as an inhale into a high plank position. As you exhale, lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, let it go. Inhale, spin your inner arms toward your ears, exhale. Push down to lift up. On your next inhalation, lift your heels high. As you exhale, bend your knees, step or float lightly to the top of your mat. Take a breath in, lengthening. A breath out, forward fold. Inhale all the way up, bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Exhale, hinge right back down, forward fold. Inhale to lengthen, chest forward. As you exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat. Nice and long stance, right knee over right ankle. Fingertips can be on a block or on the floor. Press into your right hip to pull your right hip back. Left hip glides forward. As you're high in the ball of your foot, make sure your left heel is nice and high directly over the ball of the foot. Extend the chest forward. Continue to hug the belly in. Stay here for another 2 breaths. Neck is nice and long. It's an active extension of your spine. Another inhale. As you exhale, bend into your left knee. Glide your way into Skandasana, side lunge with the left knee bent, right foot ankle flexed. Either staying here, you can even scoot your right heel forward closer to the front of the room. Draw your left forearm in front of your left shin. Right arm can reach diagonally back behind you. Lengthen when you breathe in. A little bit more of a lean back when you breathe out. It's almost like an upper back bend in your upper back. Another breath. Lower your right hand to the floor. Bend into your right knee. Glide your way all the way to the top of the mat. Left hand directly underneath your left shoulder. Left leg is long and firm, like a plank. Right hand connects to your right hip. Pull it right back. Bring your hand to your sacrum. Make sure your left hip is lined up with your right. Right arm out to the right. Twist open towards the right. Press into your left hand. Get more length and space from your palm to your shoulder. Draw the chest towards the front of the room. Lead with the center of the chest as you're spinning to your right. Continue to hug your right hip back. Draw your left thigh bone towards the ceiling. Stay here for another breath. Lower your right hand to the floor. Step back to a downward facing dog. Optional vinyasa. Inhale, high plank. Staying here or lowering your knees. Exhale, lower halfway down or all the way to the floor. Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Remember, in up dog, shoulders over wrists, thighs are lifted off the floor, shoulders pull back. Exhale, hips are high, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 3 cycles of breath in, breath out. Inhale, exhale. Feel your quads engage as you lift your kneecaps up. One more round of breath in, breath out. On your next inhalation, raise your right leg long back behind you. Pull your left hip back. Raise your right leg up a bit higher. Bend your right knee, open up your right hip. Continue to open up the right hip, leading with the inner thigh. Continue to pull your left heel down to the floor. Feel more pressure on your right hand to square off your shoulders. Draw your right knee up to the ceiling even more. As you exhale, straighten your right leg, square off the hips. Take a breath in, lift the right leg up a bit higher. As you exhale, bring your right knee to your chest, step your right foot to the top of your mat. Deep bending your right knee, long back leg. Squeeze the outer hips together, bring your arms overhead for a high crescent lunge. The hips are nice and low and buoyant. Left hip is pulling forward, right hip is pulling back. Back ribs are lifting away from the back waist. Arms are reaching brightly up. Lower body stays where it is. Take a breath in. Twist to your right, bring your arms outstretched. Continue to firm the right hip back. Lift the chest up. Make sure that your shoulders are lined directly over your hips. You don't want to be sinking forward. Even if a gentle bend in your back knee allows you to accomplish this, then go for it. Staying here for another 2. 1. Bring your arms back up overhead. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step quietly to a downward facing dog. Take an inhale. Let it go. Next breath, raise your left leg behind you, down dog split. Pull your right hip back. Lift your left leg up a bit higher. Bend your left knee, yawn your left hip open. Leading with your inner thigh to draw the knee up to the ceiling. Try to kick your right bum with your left heel. Keep weight onto your left hand. Find some more stretch in the left side of your body from your knee all the way to your palm. Another breath. Inhale, square it off, extend the leg. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat, right to the left thumb, all the way up into a high crescent lunge. Again, it's that little bit of a bend into your back knee that can readjust the pelvis so it's nice and neutral. Left hip pulls back, right hip forward. Bring your arms by your ears, reach high. Breath in, pull your left hip back even more. Right hip forward. Exhale, twist to your left. Soften into your shoulders, take an in-breath. Exhale, find more of a twist. Breath in for the length. Breath out for the twist. One more breath in. Breath out. Inhale back to center, arms reach overhead. So you exhale, hands to the floor. Step to a downward facing dog. Breathing here for several breaths or joining me in a vinyasa flow. Inhale into a high plank. Exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Inhale, forward and up, upward facing dog. Pull the chest forward. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take 3 breaths. Breath in, breath out. Inhale and exhale. One more round of breath in. Let it go. On your next breath, step your right foot To the top of the mat, place your left heel to the floor. Deep bend in your right knee. Feet are hips width distance apart in width. Roll your left outer thigh forward and down. Keep that orientation in your lower body. Bring your arms overhead for Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Pull your right hip back. Continue to glide your left outer thigh forward. Hips are not necessarily totally square to the front of the room because of the placement of your back foot, but the torso is. Shoulders are square to the top of the mat as well. Straighten and lengthen into your left leg. Slide the right knee forward even more. Reach the ribs up as you breathe in. Maintain that length. Catch your hands behind you into a basket. Draw the knuckles down. Keep the deep bend in your right knee. Keep your long back leg, left leg. Bow it down, melt it down into a humble warrior. Once you're down, bow your head way down. Look at your back foot. Make sure that you aren't rolling into your back arch. Place more weight on the outer edge of your foot. Your right chest can lie on your right thigh. So just make sure your head and neck are nice and relaxed. Knuckles are now drawing up to the ceiling. Continue to hug your right hip back, left hip forward and down. Continue to lengthen your left leg. Staying here for another 2 and 1. Firm weight in both feet. Come all the way back up into your Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. As you exhale, open up to Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. You might need to lengthen your stance a bit. Bring your hands to your hips. Make sure the left hip is not higher than the right. They should be nice and level with one another. Hands can stay on hips. Straighten your front leg. As you exhale, only thing moving is bending into your right knee. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Inhale to straighten. Exhale to bend. Arms reach out to the sides, look over your right shoulder. Continue to lengthen into your left leg, ground into the razor edge side of your foot. Firm, strong, pressure in your right heel to hug your right hip back. Shoulders are directly aligned over your hips. Next breath in, straighten your front leg. Heel to your left foot once towards your right foot. Reach and lengthen. Just make sure that your right heel is now lined up with your back arch for triangle pose of Utthita Trikonasana. Right hand comes down, left arm reaches overhead. Take a breath in, draw the chest towards the front of the room. Lead with the ribs as you spin them around the spine and look over your left shoulder. Stacking shoulder blade on top of shoulder blade as if your left shoulder were lying on the same plane as your right hip, as if against a wall. Left hip would not be touching the wall. It's slightly tilted forward. But keep the firm length in both legs. Lengthen when you breathe in, the torso to the front. Find a little bit more of a rotation when you breathe out. Breath in. Breath out. Next inhalation, come all the way up. Parallel your feet. Swing your left arm underneath your right for Garudasana, Eagle Wrap again. Reach the elbows up. Push the forearms towards the side wall. Feel that separation of the shoulder blade wings away from the center of the spine. Draw the chest up towards the collarbones. Hug the belly and push the air away with you with your forearms as you come all the way into a wide-legged forward fold with the fingertips to the floor. It's almost a diagonal reach. Feel the outer ribs slide forward. Feel a lot more sensation of space and freedom in your upper back. Notice if your weight drifted back towards your heels, pull it forward. Let your head hang in the crook of the elbows. Hug the belly in. Breathe here for 3 more breaths. Continue to engage into the quads by lifting your kneecaps up. Find that extra sense of stretch behind the legs. One more inhale and exhale. Slowly unwind your arms. Come onto your fingertips to lengthen. As you exhale, bend into your right knee, spin around to face the top of the mat. Lower your left knee to the floor. Heel toe your right foot out to the side just a little bit for a lizard. Draw your left hand underneath your left shoulder, right hand to your right knee. Glide your chest forward. Spin the ribs to face the inner right thigh. Look over your right shoulder. Keep sinking the hips nice and low. But not into your shoulder. You're still pressing down to lift up. Find more of a stretch sensation of extending the chest when you breathe in. Even more of a rotation when you breathe out, and relax and soften into your right shoulder. Slowly unwind yourselves, bring your right hand to the floor. Tuck your back toes, step back to a high plank position, lower down through Chaturanga Dandasana, low plank. Inhale, pull forward and up dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath in and let it go. Next breath, raise your step your left foot to the top of the mat, warrior one. Place your right heel to the floor, arms reach brightly overhead. Bend, bend, bend into your left standing leg. Pull your left hip back as you roll your right outer thigh forward. Belly's engaged, tailbone is long. Buoyancy in the hips. Continue to press into your left heel to hug the left hip back. Ribs are square to the top of the mat. Take another breath in, feel the lift up of the ribs. Maintain that as you exhale, clasp your hands behind you. Find the non-dominant way with the thumb and index finger on top. Open the chest even more. Exhale, melt it down, bow it down. Let your head and neck relax. Check in with your back foot. Make sure that you have weight on the outer edge of your back foot. Readjust your hips. Left hip is pulling back, right hip is sliding forward and down. Knuckles are drawing up towards the ceiling and perhaps even over your head. Take another 3. Breath in and out for 2. One more round of breath. Press equal weight into both feet, deep bend in your left knee, arms reach overhead. Exhale, open up to warrior 2. Just heel to your left foot once so it's in the center of your mat, lining up with your back arch. Arms are reaching brightly out. Bring your hands to your hips, readjust them. So you're creating this nice little rectangular box, shoulders to hips. Straighten your front leg. Exhale back to your warrior 2, Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale, press down, pull up and back. Exhale to bend. Inhale, pull it up. Exhale to bend, arms outstretched. Stay here for another 2. Relax your shoulders. 1. Straighten your front leg, heel to your right foot once toward your left foot. Maintain that angle. It's about a 60-degree angle. Reach and lengthen. Keep pressing into your left big toe mound to draw the thigh bone back into the hip socket. Notice how you can get a little bit more length from your hip to your shoulders. Reach and lengthen, then tilt it down. The outside of my hand is on the inside of my shin for a little bit more of a leverage to lengthen the chest. You can always have your hand on a block. Just use that to help you get the extension, not to collapse. Lean the right chest back into the shoulder blades. Squeezing your inner thighs together. Breathing here for another 3. Open up even more. It's an open twist for 2. Feel the firmness of the insides of your thighs pulling towards one another. Next in-breath, come all the way back up. Parallel your feet. Right arm swings underneath left for Eagle Wrap Gardasana. Forearms and palms touch. Reach the elbows up. Soften into your shoulders. Push the forearms away from you, with the air away from you. Continue leading that with that all the way down into your wide-legged forward fold with an Eagle Wrap. Let your head and neck hang heavily. Make sure your weight is drawn evenly towards the balls of the feet as well as the heels. Soften into the base of your neck. Find that sense of space in the upper back again. Make sure you aren't collapsing into your inner arches. Hug the belly in. Send the back hip bones higher. Another 3, 2, 1. Unwind everything. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, bend into your left knee. Spin around to face the top of the mat. Lower your right knee to the floor. Heel to your left foot out to the side a little bit. Toes dial out. Right hand underneath your right shoulder. Sink the hips nice and low. Get that stretch in front of your right hip. Left hand to your left knee. Glide the chest forward. As you press into your right hand, spin the ribs to face the inside of your left thigh and look over your left shoulder. Continue to press into your left foot to pull the left hip back. Continue to press into your right palm to get more length from the palm to the shoulder. You have some more space to twist. Another 2, 1. Gradually bring your way back to center, hands to the floor. Tuck your back toes, lengthen your right leg. Step to a high plank position and lower down through low plank chaturanga. Inhale, forward and up, upward facing dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog. Take a breath in, come high on the balls of your feet. Open mouth, breath out, settle the heels to the floor. Again, inhale high, come high on the balls of your feet. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. One more time, inhale, heels high. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. On your next in-breath, come high on the balls of your feet. Bend your knees, push your way back, step or float to the top of the mat. Take a breath into lengthen, chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, bow it down, forward fold, Uttanasana. All the way up. Bring your arms by your ears. Reach high, Utthita Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest in a sthiti, equal standing. Standing on your left foot, bring your right knee up towards your chest and draw your right thigh all the way on top of your left for an eagle wrap. Your foot can come down to the floor as a kickstand. Perhaps you can bring your foot all the way around to connect behind your left calf. Notice if your hips start to list over towards the left, pull them back to neutral to face the front of the room. Bring your right arm underneath your left, Gardasana, full eagle wrap. Elbows and forearms and palms are touching. Reach the elbows up. Keep finding a little bit more space in the front of the spine as you draw your chest towards your collarbones. A soft bend into your left knee. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your outer hips together. Lift the elbows up a bit higher. Breathing in and out for another 3, 2, 1. Slowly unwind into a warrior 1. Step your right foot back behind you, left knee is bent. Take a breath in. As you exhale, open up to your warrior 2. Just heel toe your left foot once to the left. Reverse your warrior, flip your left palm, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle. Your left forearm is on your left thigh, bring your right arm by your ear. Reach and lengthen the left chest towards your left knee. Spin your left inner thigh towards your face. Grab more weight to the outer edge of your back foot, lengthening your right leg. Reach, 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 reach. Your right fingertips all the way over towards the left. Roll your right chest up. It's an open twist, just like in your triangle. Staying here for another 2, 1. Straighten your front leg, reverse your triangle, reach up and back. As you exhale, cartwheel your hands to the top of the mat. Flip up your back heel, deep bend in your left knee. Step to the top of the mat, chair pose, Utkatasana. Bring your arms by your ears and reach up. Sit hips down nice and low. Breathing here for another 2 breaths. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Squeeze your outer hips together. Bring your hands to press together at the center of your chest. Take an in-breath. Exhale, twist to your left. Right elbow connects to left thigh. Press the palms together. Press them as close to the center of your chest as you can. Look over your left shoulder. Notice if you deepen the bend in your knees, you might be able to find a lot more length in the right side waist. More opportunity to wrap the ribs around the spine. Breathing here for another 3. Continue to squeeze your outer hips to midline. 2, 1. Straighten the legs, hinge for a forward fold. Take a breath to lengthen, chest forward. As you exhale, step your right foot to the back of the mat. Warrior 1, bring your arms by your ears. Left hand to left hip. Straighten into your left leg, pull your left hip back. Reach and lengthen. Continue to scissor the inner thighs together. Place your left hand on your lower back. Make sure it stays nice and level. Continue to press into your left big toe mound to pull your left hip back. Right hand can come onto the floor, on your foot, on a block, either inside or outside of your foot. Continue to pull your left hip back, lengthen the torso forward. Press the outer left hip back to midline. Find your twist, Pavita Trikonasana, revolve triangle. Lengthen when you breathe in. Draw your right chest forward. Twist a bit more. Find that rotation of the rib basket. Another 3. Lengthen your right leg more. Find the firmness and support with the right leg as well. 2, 1. Slowly unwind and just step to the front of the mat for a forward fold. Grab elbows, hang heavily for a few moments. Use the hands on your elbows to find more stretch and length in the side body. The arms are a little bit longer. Head is nice and heavy. Rewind your arms so the other forearm is on top. Hug the belly in, find that side stretch. Release your hands from your elbows. A little bit of a bend into your knees as you slowly roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Leave your arms dangling by your sides. Shoulders forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Again, inhale, shoulders pulling forward and up. Open mouth, breath out, let it go. Weight onto your right foot rather, and draw your left thigh on top of your right. Again, make sure that the hips are square and level to the top of the mat. Arms are reaching overhead, left arm underneath the right. Elbows and forearms and palms are connecting. Reach the elbows up. Lift the chest up towards the collarbones. Pull the navel into the spine. Feel that connection. And continue to squeeze your inner thighs together. Continue to squeeze your outer hips together. Soft bend in your right standing leg. Reach the elbows up a bit higher, Gardasana, Eagle Wrap. Staying here for another 3. Feel the back ribs lift up away from the back waist for 2. A little bit more of a lift up for 1. Slowly unwind yourselves into your Warrior One, settling your left foot back to the floor. Take a breath in. Exhale, open up to your Warrior Two. Inhale, reverse your Warrior, reach up and back. Exhale, extended side angle, forearm on thigh, bring your left arm by your ear. Draw your right ribs closer towards your right knee. Lead with the center of the chest as you're dropping your left shoulder back to lie on top of your right. Don't collapse into your right forearm. You're merely using that to help extend the right chest forward. Spin it towards the side wall and reach and lengthen, but soften into your left shoulder. Find even more stretch from your fingertips all the way to your left hip and your left heel. Staying here for another 3. A little bit more of a roll up to the ceiling for 2. 1. Straighten your front leg, reverse your triangle, reach up and back. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the top of the mat. Bend into your right knee, step your left foot to meet it. Utkatasana, bring your arms by your ears and reach high. Exhale, hands to the center of your chest. Take a breath in to lengthen. Exhale, twist to your right, left elbow connects to right knee. Scoot your left knee back. Hips are nice and lined up with one another, twisting at the upper body. Lengthen when you breathe in. Pull the heels of the hands closer to the center of your chest. Find a deeper twist as you breathe out. Lower body is cinching into midline. Breath in, lengthen the left chest. Breath out, find more of a twist. One more breath in. Exhale, straighten your legs forward, fold. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, step your left foot to the back of the mat, Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1. Right hand to right hip, straighten your right leg. Pump weight into your right big toe mound to pull your right hip back. Slide your left outer hip forward. Reach and lengthen with your left arm. Continue to scissor the inner thighs. Take your right hand to your lower back. Readjust their hips so they're nice and level. Reach and lengthen. Left hand lands wherever it lands. Take a breath in. Continue to pull your right hip back. Lengthen the left chest forward. Find your twist to the right, Pavita Trikonasana. Scissoring the inner thighs even more. Left hip pulls forward, right hip pulls back. Left chest forward on the breath in. More of a rotation on the breath out. Right outer thighs pulling back to midline. Breath in. Breath out. Lean the right chest back. One more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Then softly into your right knee. Forward fold, chest to thighs. Take an in-breath to lengthen. A breath out to fold forward. Inhale, slowly rise all the way up. Arms reach overhead. Final sun salute, A, Surya Namaskara, A. Inhale, come all the way down for your final vinyasa. Inhale, lengthen chest forward. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back to a high plank and lower down through low plank. Inhale, forward and up for an upward facing dog, shoulders back. Exhale, hips are high, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take 3 rounds of breath. Perhaps you feel a lot more space now, a little bit more pliability in the spine. Your head is nice and heavy, your neck is relaxed. Quads are engaged, heels might settle a little bit more to the floor. Take another inhale and an exhale. On your next inhalation, come onto your knees, cross your ankles, sit back, slide your legs long in front of you, roll all the way down onto the back. Place your feet underneath your knees. Press your palms by your sides into the floor. Make sure everything is parallel. It means the outer edges of your feet are parallel to the long edges of your mat. Knees are directly over your heels. Start to lift the hips up as you glide your knees forward, pressing firmly into the feet. Start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling. You can either stay here with your palms to the floor. You can always just bend your elbows and bring your fingertips up to face the ceiling like goalposts to press into the upper arms to send the chest up higher, or even clasping your hands behind you, rolling one shoulder blade in and then the other. Press down, lift the hips up into a bridge pose. Continue to squeeze into the heels to lift the hips up. Send the shoulder blade wingtips right into the back of the heart to get that lift of the chest up towards your chin. Breathing here for another 4. Breath in and out for 3. Lift up as you're pressing down for 2. 1. Lift your heels, slowly lower down 1 vertebra at a time. Take a breath in and a breath out. One more bridge pose. Press into your feet. Start to glide your knees forward. Whatever variation you did on the first side, feel free to take it here as well, or just vary it up. Wherever you are, your upper arms are pressing firmly into the floor to get the lift up of the chest. Find the back bend in your upper back. Continue to slide your knees forward, pressing into your heels. Engage your hamstrings. Breathing in and out for another 3, 2, 1. Lift your heels slowly, settle down one vertebra at a time. Bring the feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana. You can place a hand on your belly and a hand on your chest. Start to soften into the shape, this butterfly shape. Actually feel your heartbeat, feel your breath start to slow down gradually. And close your eyes. Use your hands to bring your knees together. Bring your knees into your chest. Bring your forehead up to your knees and crunch it all the way in. As you exhale, settle the shoulders back down. Step your right foot onto the mat. Bend your left knee, slide your right leg long to the mat. Guide your left knee over to the right with your right hand and turn your head to the left. Glides all the way over towards the floor. Your left shoulder softens to the ground. Take another few breaths here. Slowly find your way. Straighten your left leg, bend your right knee, bring it into your chest. Guide it over towards your left. Bring your right arm out to the side. Continue to soften into your breath, soften into the shape and the sensations. Feel your right shoulder soften to the ground. Slowly unwind yourselves. Return back to center. Straighten your legs in front of you. Let your knees and feet roll open, palms down by your sides. Take a long, slow, smooth breath in through your nose. Open your mouths and gently sigh it out. Lying here in your Shavasana for as long as you need to, as long as you'd like to. And give yourself permission to just let everything go for as long as you can. As always, I encourage you to stay in this comfortable resting position for as long as you would like. Eventually, taking your time, find movement in your fingers and your toes. Roll your wrists, roll your ankles around. Gather your knees to your chest and roll over onto your right side, drawing your left cooling side on top of your right fiery side. Restore your balance. Seal in your practice. Just take note of how you feel right now. This is the very reason that you keep coming back to your mat over and over again. The sense of softness, the sense of clarity, sense of space. Gradually bring your way up into a comfortable cross-legged seated position. Bring the hands to prayer at the center of your chest. Sit up nice and tall. Together we'll take a deep breath in. Open your mouths and exhale, let it go. Honoring the light in you that is the light in me, I thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me. Namaste. I'm Teri. Have a great day.